how to paint a Balsa Machining School Rocket kit. What you need a spray paint can with any color with Gloss Protective Enamel. Gloss allows your rocket to be smooth and more aesthetically pleasing because it's shiny. Protective enamel allows it to be more heat and water resistant and scratch resistant. So first, the step of painting your Balsa Machining School Rocket is removing the nose cone. First, you take some painter's tape, which I already have, and you want to cover the nose cone like this to make sure. Actually, you want to leave a little bit so you can still put it on your rocket. You want to make sure you just seal it off. If you want to make the nose cone the same color as the rest of your rocket, you do not need to fully tape off your nose cone. But in this case, I want to make it different colors, so I'm just going to tape it. This doesn't necessarily need to be neat. This part doesn't necessarily need to be neat. It just needs to be sealed off. You could also use a plastic bag to do this, but I'm just going to tape it on since it's such a small nose cone and I don't really need to put a plastic bag on it. So after you finish that step, you just basically make sure all string is in, slide it back in. Make sure some tape goes into your rocket so you have a full seal. So basically, even if there's tape right here, if there's paint right here, you can still pull it off without risking having paint on your nose cone. Though I don't necessarily recommend painting your fins for your Balsa Machining School Rocket, I will show you one example painted fin. So I'm gonna tape up this fin right here. So first you take a bit of tape and you want to align it with your body tube, and you want to just do this. Basically make sure it's straight line, doesn't go outside. Then you fold it over on the other side. And then at the back, you want to fold it over again. Next, you add another piece of tape right here. You want to rip it, fold it over again, fold it over one more time. You will want to cut the excess tape off of the sides after the fact, but that's something for the end of your taping. Since I did tape this that tightly, I'm gonna add some more tape. Make sure you use as much tape as possible, as you don't want your fins to have weird colors on your rocket. Now I'm gonna finish taping the top of this fin. I'm just gonna add some tape here, fold it over, fold it just like whatever way possible. Now there's this little triangle that's left. I'll just take a tiny square of tape and put it on top of that. And then you will be almost done. Now you take your X-Acto knife. You remove the excess tape on the sides. Unless you want a cool marking of weird ass tape there. I would not recommend you do this because the fact is that you need to, in order to tape your Balsa Machining Rocket, you waste a lot of tape. So it's gonna be kind of a waste of tape to do this, but it's okay. But it's good at seeing if your rocket will spin or not. So now to the last cut. And there we have it, a taped fin. Next, we're gonna tape our launch lug. Though some people do paint their launch lug with their rocket without taping it, I prefer taping my launch lug. First, I'm gonna take some tape and put it on one side of the rocket, like a wall. Next, I'm gonna fold it over, like this. Then I'm gonna pinch the ends and fold them down. And now I'm gonna take my X-Acto knife. Just take off some of the excess tape that I can remove. So you want to fold it in on itself right here. I'm just gonna keep folding it up right like this. And there we have it, a taped launch lug. So first step of spray painting your rocket is to first pick your paint color. I picked red and blue. So now you take your thing, shake it up. Now you basically shake it more, and then spray paint, test paint the cardboard we have. Now since we did that, now we're gonna start spray painting our rocket. So first we just go gently spray into our rocket. You don't need to highly coat it on the first spray. Just evenly spread it out. Make sure everything has an equal amount of paint on each side. By the way, it's also recommended to tape the bottom. I just didn't tape the bottom because there's really no point to do that for me because I can paint pretty decently well. But it's recommended to tape the bottom, so just in case you get paint repeatedly. Add some little bit of like spray paint just to make it look cooler. It's called particle painting. But make sure you have only a light coating of red so it doesn't mess up your rocket. And now here's my finished rocket. After around 24 hours of drying, we can now remove the tape. So just take your tape off normally, just like sort of like pull it off but gently. Just like take it off, hold it on this side, and slowly peel it off. For your nose cone, you just want to pull it out. Grab your knife, just cut a little bit off.
And just start trying to pull it off like that. Take two of your knees and take a piece of it. Sometimes a bit harder to tape. Yeah. Here we go. Now I know what to put. Now we're gonna
put it back in like this. So we just swirl our string, push it back in, and our nose cone and our launch hook is complete. So now time to do the fin. So for the fin, we just pull it back. Just do everything that you did before reverse. Pull this off. Just slowly peel it off. And here we have it, a nice rocket. But now, next we need to paint our rocket fins. So now I'm gonna cover this body tube up. You can pick any type of plastic bag, just make sure it's big enough for your rocket. So what you first want to do is you want to push your rocket inside the bag, just to see generally where you're at. Next, you just cut a little slit here at the end to hopefully let your rocket through. Push your nose cone through this little slit to where you want to paint. Now you want to basically just have your nose cone out a little bit, right here. Now you want to take your tape and basically tape around your nose cone. Like this. And then for your back fin, you just want to basically just make a little slit. Let me cut that one more time. There's your little slit here. You just want to find your fin. Put it on top of your fin. Basically just stretch it over your fin. Like this. Now you just want to tape your fin down to tape around the fin. This is a simpler and faster way to do it than taping your entire rocket. Want to add the tape right here. Tape right here. That then we want to seal it by just pushing some tape on here. And put the tape on the other side. Just like this. And we are now done taping our fins. But you could add some extra tape here to extra secure it. But I'm just going to have a little bit of gap here because if you're careful, you won't get paint into that gap. So first, I'm going to paint my fins. Since the nose cone is easier to paint, so I'm going to paint my fins first. I'm going to spray it into it, like this. Just give it a light coat, turn it a little bit. Light coat on this side. Light burst. And now our fins are done. Now we're going to paint our nose cone. We're just going to go lightly coat it. Cool. So now we just wait until it dries and then we'll add another coat. After an hour, we're in a second coat, we're going to remove the paint. So basically the protective material, we just remove it like this. Just pop everything off. The nose cone just come off like this. Now we want to untangle the nose cone by just grabbing this, swiveling it around. Now we got our nose cone. Push the nose cone back through. And here we have our nose cone. So now, after we roll up our streamer, as we covered in our first video, we're gonna slowly stuff it back in. So now we're gonna take our streamer, push it back in with all of the materials, just to get a complete finished rocket. So I'm gonna push it back in. We're gonna push it in. And there we have our finished school rocket. Thank you for watching how to paint a Balsa Machining School Rocket kit.